this video is about why should you do this incredible thing, which is to bind scroll wheel to crouch, and why it's really important on Holiday. You might think like this is kind of stupid, like a movement player thing, because movement players do this, and it's because you can do, I mean, there's a few things. So there's that, I don't know if you guys seen this, it's probably not going to be around if you watch a video a long time in the future, but there's a tech right now called dash storage, which is like, I think it's going to get removed, so I'm not even going to talk about it here. But the other one is short hopping, which is basically, if you dash jump, right, you go really far, and you can do slide hops afterwards, and you have a lot of distance with this. Like, it's amazing for escaping and everything like that. But obviously, it costs 2 stamina, so you have a bit of a decision to make there, because you're expending 2 stamina. Maybe you only have, like on Holiday, you only have 2 stamina at the start of the game, so that's just all your stamina gone. Terrible. What if something happens? You don't have stamina. So the alternative, and the reason I had crouch bounce scroll in the first place, is short hopping, which looks kind of like this. And this is like some black magic, okay? Because usually if you just do this, right, you can get 1 slide. That's it. You go about that far. I mean, you obviously saw that I went really, really far. What you do is you tap like 1 scroll wheel worth of crouch, and this literally gives you a crouch input for 1 tick. And that 1 tick crouch input, it like shortens your dash. So you can see what I'm doing here, right? I'm putting in a scroll wheel, and it like stops my dash. And then right after that, you jump. And if you do that like at the fastest, so you do it on the dash jump timing, because that's the time where you're going fastest in your dash, then you can just like jump really far. Like, you get loads of distance and you get loads of speed. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this actually. Holiday is a bucket 1 character, and just for short hopping, you should already have crouch bound to scroll wheel, because short hopping on bucket 1 characters is like ridiculously easy. You can do it really consistently because the dash is so quick. You're always going to get like a lot of distance. So that's the first reason why you should have it bound. And then I was thinking, after the Holiday changes, right, we have this amazing new thing you can do, which you can place a bounce pad straight at your feet, like this. It's amazing. Before we had to place it like here and run onto it. Oh, it's terrible, so slow. But now we can do this. It opens up a lot of stuff. We also have the stun. Woo, now that's something. And I think a lot of people probably noticed that you can do this, and you can get like an instant stun, and it's great. The problem is, if you've been doing this in games, which I have, what you'll notice is that the enemy is usually able to dodge it, or like, you know, they're just moving around and it's just not going to land. Like, it's easy enough to land on a still enemy, but if you imagine the time that you're looking at the floor, this guy's moved like somewhere, and so when I do this, it's like in the wrong place. Bad. Here's the alternative, is to use your lovely scroll wheel bound crouch to instantly input a down dash. Right, because if you do a down dash like this is another way. You just use control, right? So I'm using double tap control, right, to do a down dash. And it's better because I have air movement like this. So if my enemy moves, then I'm just gonna do that and like airstrip into them. But it's kind of slow, and as I'll explain later, it can cause lots of really annoying situations with like height. What you can do instead is, as you place your bounce pad on the floor like this, just scroll your mouse, like whatever direction you set crouch to, just like spam the scroll, like just scroll straight up, in my case, right, or just straight down, and you're going to get like this, which it pops out like instantly, right? And you like really quickly regain air movement, so you can strafe to the left and the right. And here's perhaps the coolest part, right? You still have your air dash. So let's say I do this, and he's moved, I can just air dash, see? Like that. I don't have stamina there. That's another reason why it's usable, is because it only costs you half a stamina bar to do this, as opposed to an entire stamina bar. So yeah, I can dash like that. It's much, much better. And it's much better to just pressing it with double tap crouch, because you're gonna run into these issues. So like over here, right, I have an arch. Let's say I'm chasing someone, they're running through here, I want to stun them. If I do this with double tapping crouch, I'm hitting my head, and like, unless you're like the world's fastest crouch presser with pinky, you're hitting your head. But if you do it with mouse wheel, you're getting straight underneath that, and it's a huge difference. I mean, like here, for instance, you can go straight through. Versus with double tap crouch, you're hitting your head on this, and it's also completely consistent. I mean, like, it's literally so easy. A monkey could do this with, like, you know, some training. So this is de facto the best way to get like a stun pad on like a close range enemy. You just do this. You have adjustable with dash. You have everything. It's amazing. So yeah, those are 2 reasons why you need to rebind your crouch to scroll wheel. Just have two binds, okay? You want like a normal one for sliding, and you want like your 1 tick one on scroll wheel so that you can do all this cool tech. Okay, video over.